there, everyone, and welcome back to my next episode playing the TekTopia mod. I am Mar, and in today's episode, I have a lot of relatively minor, but also kind of significant changes to go over with you on camera here. Because I've been a busy bee since the last episode I recorded. I've been on here doing a lot of grindy stuff with Gru, and some with him and some without him, and I want to just take a look at basically all of it and then see if we can't get some more work done in today's episode later on. So first of all, hi! But that's not me! That's kind of me, but it's not really me. That's my camera account. I have my camera account stationed up here, just chilling, looking out over the village, keeping an eye on things. I have added this this lookout platform, not really a tower per se. I've added this on top of our house too. And like, why on top of the house too? Like, why would you do that? What's the purpose? Well, I mean, we'll get into it. Now this room down here, this little antechamber here is kind of ugly, and I mean, you're never really gonna see it. I've got a little ladder here to get up to it. It's really kind of janky. It wasn't really planned like that. What I just realized, I was doing some villager troubleshooting. Let's see, game rule, do daylight cycle true. There we go. I had been doing some troubleshooting, not with the platform up there, but with the villagers themselves. It said I had like 4 yellow beds, and I did the, what was it, /village, report homes, with spaces in there, because that gives an output file into the, into like a text document, a notepad or whatever, and it basically tells you how many villagers you have in each house. I didn't even know that was a thing until a little while ago, like a couple weeks ago. It tells you how many villagers are in each home. It gives you their profession, their name, the coordinates, all that fun stuff. And even that was confused, but then I went and did a relog, like a complete relog. I turned off the daylight cycle so that they would all be in their beds so that I could just run from one to another. I found a whole bunch of villagers doubling up, and in one case I found 3 villagers in the same bed, and even the game didn't seem to think that the extra villagers were even there, and it thought I had more villagers than what I actually did, and it was all confused about who was wearing what, and all that crazy stuff. So I turned off the daylight cycle to do some testing. Ultimately, I just reloaded my game, and it works fine. And everybody's in the beds where they belong, except for my guard here. The guards, they have 2 of them. One of them's still in bed. They kind of switch off. One's running around during the day, one's running around during the night, and he'll patrol between this post and a post that I set up at the other end, though he takes the most ridiculous path to and from it, but whatever, his choice, right? So let me think. This whole section here is new. I do not believe this was in the last episode at all. I've done a lot of the hidden lighting. In fact, we'll take a look at that at the map here in a few moments. That's probably the easiest way to do that. I've done a lot of the hidden lighting. I have made an official path along here with hidden lighting underneath the carpet here in a couple places. I've got like the paths up kind of laid out, with the 5 wide thing of carpet there, another one here. The position of the guard towers is very temporary. I built a stables finally. I just kind of threw it all together, kind of, all spur of the moment. I was like, it's gonna be such a small build. I just wanted to put it in here. The size of it, kind of, I wanted to get rid of the hill back here that was over our mine shaft, so I did that. The hill's gone. Now, unfortunately, this here is actually the ceiling for the staircase going down, so I was like, well, I don't want to cover it up with just a little bit of dirt, so I kind of made it into this little alcove type thing where you could do some smelting and whatnot if you wanted to. There's a funny story here. This hay stack, nope, miner, where are you? Okay, that's not good. And we're gonna disconnect other character. Okay, that's just my method. Villagers take damage, fly away, and zombie despawns. Okay, where did he spawn in at? So we got druids, miners, druids, miners, miners, druids. I see guys. Yep, okay, I see guys down here. They're unhappy. Okay, what's going on, dudes? What's going on? Did somebody forget to light up a tunnel? I catch them doing that every so often. It's so annoying. Okay, you guys look fine now. Yep, looks fine. I'm pretty sure they were down here. So let's see. Madian, Albert, Wesley, Carlin. Who are you guys? Who are you, Carlin? Are you okay, Carlin? You're not doing so great. You're okay. I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's fully lit up in here. Like, there's no spawnable spaces. I'm quite certain that somebody forgot to put a torch down in a tunnel and a zombie spawned in. If I could, I don't know if it's possible. I may want to consider it, so long as the druids won't overwrite it, I may want to consider, like, putting glowstone in the floor or something. I just don't want... I've had that happen a couple times where a zombie will spawn in there. And speaking of zombies, I've got this going on. Yes, this is what the platform up above is for. This is the box standard Wells Knight design mob farm. It's not as many layers as I would like. In fact, let's just go into game mode, or yeah, game mode spectator, if I could spell. Let's just come in here. It's just 4 layers instead of 8 is what I usually go for. But it still seems to be doing pretty good. And then we've got the drop shaft here and then little pickup system that's sending things all the way up here. And then this is the collection system over here. Let's pop back up here and game mode survival. And we're getting gunpowder, we're getting bones, we're getting string. All of those are very helpful. The string you can make the white wool with, of course. And because we, you know, this is 1.12.2 and there's no real data packs or anything like that added. So there's not universal dyeing. I can make white wool and then I can re-dye that as I want to. Zombie flesh is kind of useless. I'm trying to find a use for it. Without clerics, like the traditional clerics, there's nothing you can really do with zombie flesh at all. So I'm thinking about maybe adding in another custom villager. If I did, what would he sell? And I would just make him take, like, zombie flesh. Arrows are always useless unless you have a mending bow, so I don't know, maybe Groot uses mending and he can use those. This is just for general things coming in here. And then this actually isn't hooked up to any system at all. It's just an extra column for sugarcane. And because my villagers are real industrious, I'm using their sugarcane. So that's going to be our firework factory. These are my chests from digging out in here. I need to move those at some point. But that's why I have the platform. I hear tinkling, I think. That's why I have the platform up there. That's more or less, not exactly, but more or less directly above and centered on the mob farm. So it's a good place that my characters can AFK, or, you know, when I'm here, I'll load my other character back up so she's on the top of that, keeping that area properly loaded. I've done pretty good cave mining or cave lighting down there. Got a lot of resources actually, and my villagers are doing so good with their resources. Really guys, let me in. I mean, look how many diamonds they have and look at how much iron they have. I'm not really concerned with their resources anymore. So I had a bunch of resources that I had been planning on saving for them that I would manually go put in their mines, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use it. So I actually smelted up a whole bunch of it, so I guess I can collect this. It's a lot. I had a lot of iron. This is like the second batch or whatever. That one was full. Oopsies. So let's see, how much did that make? Not too many gold, of course, that's fine, but it's the iron. That's a lot of iron when you consider that I have this much more sitting in here. Look at that! Look at that's another beacon's worth of iron. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna just, for safety's sake, I'm gonna put that away. I forgot I had left it out. Okay, so let's quickly go over some other things. So here's the map. As you can see, all these little green dots are the hidden lighting, so it makes my map look like it has green chickenpox or something. And here are my plans, essentially. I need to finish the chapel here. I want to build a barracks over here because this is the only area where my merchant will spawn, so it should also, therefore, be the only area where the necromancer can spawn. So I just want that entire corner to be blocked off inside a very large sort of training area, barracks thing over there. I would also like another one over here because each barracks could only have 10 guards, and I'd really like more than 10 guards wandering around, so I figure I'll put one here, I'll put one here. I think I'd like to put a miniature tavern inside of each of them, because I have 3 bards, and every night 2 of them just stand around and do absolutely nothing. So I'd like to give them something to do, so I'm going to have 2 very tiny taverns that the guards can use if they want to. Their little mead hall of sorts, if you will. I want to add a little house here because I want more chefs as well. More chefs and maybe another blacksmith or 2 because mine can't keep up with the iron that my miners are bringing in. So I definitely think I want to add in more, maybe another small kitchen. Let's see, what else do I need to / want to? I don't think I build this right here. This is the fishing hut. Our AFK fishing. And you can see there's a little pinprick of blue right there. That's glass, so that the water is exposed, which is how they work best, essentially. There's nothing too fantastic to see there, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over some of those smaller changes. I don't remember if I mentioned it before. Inside the mausoleum, I am using it again. I'm actually using it to grow my own trees. I'd like to set aside some area either here or here, maybe, where I build my 2x2 trees, my really tall ones, so spruce and dark oak and jungle. But down in the mausoleum, I am doing birch, oak, and acacia for building with. And as you might have seen already, I've added carpet along in here. Torch spam is pretty much gone entirely. There's a few spots where the light level does get too low, so I have put down like a singular torch here or there. I think there's like 2 or 3 of those spots. But that's all in total. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention, the hay bales here are covering up the water stream because the storage system, the automatic sorting system, went so high that it was breaking through the ground, so I had to cover it up. Let's see, what else have I got? This island here and this island here, I still want to build lighthouses on them. I made the butcher shop a little bigger. I wasn't sure. It was mostly in the course of doing some troubleshooting. I was wondering if the clipping into the chicken hut was causing problems. I don't think it actually was. I think it has to do with the same thing that happens with the villagers where they seem to disappear or they claim the wrong beds or whatever. I was literally getting animals that were invisible, and the butchers would know they're there and try to attack them, be unsuccessful, hit each other or themselves somehow. I don't know how. And I just had butchers taking damage all the time. It was driving me nuts. And now what I do when I notice that happening is just relog. That's really what you should do. I realized after editing it, back when I did the testing on this door and why it kept opening on its own, I realized I forgot. I didn't actually have it on screen, like recording, when like the way we fixed it. Just relog. It fixes so many problems. Just relog. I don't know if it's just relogging the world. I just shut down Minecraft entirely and start all over. That's really what I would recommend doing. So yeah, and I'm building up a lot of parts that I plan on taking to the 4 corners eventually. Let's see, is there anything else that I have done? I can't really think of it. I've done a little bit of reorganizing of the villagers' storage. You saw that. I don't think... Big change. Like, a little grindy. A lot of grindy, actually. Big change, a lot of grindy. And it doesn't really even make a whole lot of difference for the sake of the actual village. It's more for a design choice. But I have completely torn down and flattened off the massive hills that were on this corner over here and this flat bit here. And I triggered another skeleton trap and defeated them. But yeah, I have completely taken care of that. Look at that. Isn't that... Now, this looks really good in my opinion. This maybe looks a little too straight, but there's not a whole lot I can do because that hill just goes on for quite a while over there. The further along you get, the steeper it goes. So that's pretty much the best I could do. What I want to do is I'm going to have the barracks over here, and then everywhere you see the fencing going across, I want to build a wall. And I'm going to mostly do that probably off camera because it's going to be pretty grindy, and it's probably going to have similar themes that we've already seen before for our walls. So that's one of the things I need to work on, and it's just to keep our villagers safe without having the tacky fence gate or fencing going up all over the place. I still need to put the roof on the chapel. That hasn't changed. I actually have a whole bunch of torch spam in here for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. So yeah, that is a lot of stuff I've worked on. I haven't really done anything at our Guardian Farm, our Guardian Village. What am I going for? Rockets. Don't have very many of them. I only finished what am I trying to say? The mob farm. I only finished that like yesterday. So it hasn't been up for very long. I did want to come out here, though. I'm going to only be over here for a few minutes because it's going to keep Bruce base loaded, and I don't want his villagers having problems. But we have decided to completely drain the Guardian Farm entirely, just to help with the spawn rates. So that's what I've been doing with him. He's been doing most of the sand dropping, and then I've been coming in afterward with sponges and emptying it out. It is a lot of work, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. I need to bring this glass down. I put it at the wrong level. We want 1 block of water across the top and then glass underneath that, just so that everything's encased and things can't spawn in here. Because the Guardians, I believe they require 2 blocks of space to spawn in. So having 1 layer of water will allow it to look halfway decent, but without allowing them to spawn in. And that's simply for the sake of keeping it nicely, like increasing the rates of the farm. And the nice thing is, like when the Guardian farm is loaded, the general mob farm does pretty much absolutely nothing. So that's nice that I can have it active at my base, and it'll just get mobs when it can. Over here, of course, we have the other mansion that I have done, or not mansion, the monument that I have done nothing with, and it spawns in galore. I'm not going over there. That will probably be a problem for Gru, so we're just gonna have to play it by ear. We're gonna have to probably trade off whether I'm over there building for, you know, versus when we're trying to get the spawns, because I'm going to need Prismarine as well, so we need to be very careful and make sure that we keep the mansion, or the monument over there, the mob farm version, loaded as much as possible. Okay, so now that I've done a ridiculous amount of rambling, I want to start working on the barracks. Now, like I said, I wanted to build 2 of them. One of them is going to be connected to this massive wall that I plan on building. The other one isn't. It doesn't really need to be. It's going to be over there where my portal is. I mean, it's all water. This is 1.12 or 0.2, and so there's no drown that you have to worry about. So we're really well protected over there. What I think I'll do is box off or block off the portal. I don't want my villagers accidentally wandering into it, but I'll have a barracks in this area, and it's going to be pretty much the same style of design as the one over here. So I don't really need to build both of them on camera for sure, but I will build, I want to try and build at least some of one on camera with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some resources. I'm probably going to get these horses out of the way, and then we're going to start working on it. I don't know how far we'll get. I don't know how much I'll be able to do on camera versus off camera, because I'm really excited to work on the ocean monument base, and that means I have to take care of the last few things, the last few tasks around this base, in order to get there, and I need to go take care of that. That's ugly. So far, I have built a very small little courtyard, almost, of sorts. I'm not actually going to put an entrance into the outside out there where all those guys are growling at us. I don't really need it, I don't think. The merchant seems to walk to about here, and then he despawns, and then he'll spawn in there and walk off in his merry little way. He just passed me a moment ago, so it's currently not interfering with his ability to spawn. I'm going to have there be some sort of entranceway here, because what I'm going to have this be, it's going to be a courtyard here, which the villagers won't really use in practice. Like, they won't be able to use it for their you know, their training and whatnot. And here is where I'm going to put the barracks. So it's going to stretch, because, let's see, I'm going to have a tower there, a tower here. Basically, everywhere where I have these little 4 pillars, this is going to be a tower, that's going to be a tower, that's going to be a tower, that's going to be a tower, so on and so forth. There's going to be a tower that I've already built in the corner, so you can see what it looks like. It's kind of a good thing, at least as far as building the wall is concerned. It's a good thing that I'm doing it off camera, because the moment you get over here, you're dealing with this annoying line and trying to build on it. And, you know, if it's raining and if it's nighttime, it's crazy. It drives me nuts. But this is what the little tower is going to look like. And I'm going to put inside each one of these, I'm going to put a little guard post, so that there's actually a guard who's stationed at every single one of these more or less all day long. You know, unless they're sleeping or whatever, or visiting storage, you know, whatever guards do. So I'm going to have one there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you can't see it, but there is an 11th one that's out of render distance over there. So that's 11 guard posts just for this wall and barracks section. And I may want more guard posts around the barracks itself, like on the interior sides as well. I'm not sure, but that's at least 7 guard posts, at least 7. And that doesn't take into account. Now, like I said, this is the only place I'm going to have these walls. I am, of course, going to have barracks over there as well, and I'm going to probably want guard posts for them as well. It's a good thing that I'm going to have 20 guards, at least, you know, because there's 10 in each barracks. I hope I don't need to build more barracks. I mean, that'd be a crazy. I mean, they will sleep in non-barracks beds as well, of course. So I guess if push comes to shove, I could just put them in a normal house. But that's at least 11 just for the pre-established towers. Well, not sort of pre-established, you know, netherrack. That's not very good to look at. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of guard posts that I'm going to have to buy because I currently only own the 2. So I'm going to have periodically, like I have them here, of course, because I have the guard towers. It makes sense. For the courtyard to have it. In theory, since the merchant spawns around here, in theory, the necromancer should spawn in here as well. And there's not really anywhere he can go in this direction, and you'll instantly have a guard post, guard post, guard post. So there's going to be 3 guards, assuming they're all on duty. There's going to be 3 guards just instantly coming down here and swarming him the moment he spawns. And in order for him to get anywhere where, you know, it quote-unquote matters, he's going to have to go through the guardhouse. So if they're all in bed, I don't know if they all pop out of bed. I mean, I've never fought a necromancer before, so presumably, if anybody's in bed, they're going to spring up. If they're training, they're going to turn around and they're going to be like, oh yeah, necromancer time, you know? So I'm going to have this is going to be like a half wall, just a facade, because the outside actually is built up. So it's like 3, whoops, that was an accident. It's like 3 wide, plus a 4th and a 5th for these beams and the fences and whatnot. Now I did test because this runs right up to the actual edge of the village. In a creative testing world, I shoved a villager up to the edge here. Like, I boxed it in so it couldn't go off and do its job, but I boxed it in, shoved it up to the wall, and then, like, I tore a 2x1 hole opening so that he could pathfind back to what he wanted to do. And no matter where I shoved him along in here, he instantly turned and, you know, would go off to try and do his job. So because, I mean, technically, even though he's shoved up into the corner on the edge like this, technically the game thinks he's still on these blocks here, which are inside the village. So this setup should not in any way interfere with their ability to pathfind in the event that they get shoved up to the edge. And it really only will matter for the villagers who are up here on the walls of the guard posts anyway. And because they like to take the shortest line to their points, they will most likely be walking right on this line here, no matter where I put the stuff. So it shouldn't matter. It should never, even if they do get shoved up here, which is highly unlikely to begin with, they should be fine. And I'm planning on putting the guard post tokens somewhere on that wall there, for example. And of course, the ones along the flat edges here instead of the corner, I'll just, you know, put it on one of the beams that are on the interior edge. So that's kind of what the plan is. This is essentially the design, so just, you know, take a look at it. We've got acacia, which I need to make more. I'm almost out of acacia, so I wasn't able to do very much. I'm going to have to do a lot of grinding, because it's going to take a lot of acacia to build all of, oh my goodness, that's a lot of acacia. It's going to take cobblestones, some stone bricks for the stairs and the railings and you know, the fences here. I'm going to need to build the roofs over here. They're really simple. They would be spawnable, so I put buttons up there, of course. So yeah, this is essentially the design. This is going to be the wall section going all the way to the water that way, all the way to the ocean that way. I'm going to put the pillar or the towers periodically in their pre-designated spots. Now for the barracks itself, I don't know exactly how far it will be. I'm thinking, let's see, there's 10 villagers. You need at least 12 spaces for each one. So mathematically, I have to give them a minimum of, what is it, 120 spaces. So the wall's going to come up to here. A chicken died of starvation because someone's not doing his job over there. It's fine. I don't care. I've got lots of chickens. So long as they don't start dying like the plague, I'll be fine. So I'll probably bring the wall out to maybe here or maybe here or something like that, and it'll come around probably over to here. It's just gonna be like an L shape sort of thing around the the courtyard there. I don't know if it'll be a corner over here or if I'm gonna like kind of give it an angular edge. I'm not quite sure. Now they don't recognize the whole stairs thing, so I'm going to maybe what I'll do is I'll have 2 barracks, one on the first level, one on the second level. Just over here, I don't know if I'll do that for the barracks on that side, but that'll give me 20 villagers, 20 guards, just for the main entrance here. And that I mean, if 11 of them are going to be, you know, posted on walls and whatnot, guard posts, that'll still give me a lot extra, because I know that they do trade off. Sometimes they'll be sleeping, sometimes they'll be awake and doing their jobs, and usually, from what I understand, half of them will be doing one and half of them will be doing the other. I mean, I only have 2 guards right now, and that's certainly what they appear to be doing. One of them's usually working, one of them's usually sleeping, half the day, half the night, that sort of a thing. So that maybe that's what I'll do. I'll have a 2-floor, 2 barracks essentially. It's going to be so many emeralds. I do have a lot of emeralds coming in. I've got quite a bit of them right here already. But they are expensive. Don't get me wrong. Those tokens are expensive. Also, I have bought tavern tokens. Now, even if I put two barracks here, one on top of the other, I still only need 1 tavern. They can share. They can share, you know? Gru joked with me saying that I was going to be getting all my guards drunk and whatnot. But, I mean, it's going to be their mead hall, you know? They're just going to have their ales. They're going to have their lunches. They got to eat somewhere too, you know? So yeah, that's what's going on here. That's pretty much what is going to keep on going on. And I'm going to just try and get as much of this done as possible, and maybe add the roof to the chapel, and 1 more small house over there to make room for more villagers, and another kitchen on the lower level near the farms. Yeah, those are basically my plans, because I'm really excited. I'm extremely excited to work on the Ocean Monument Village. I mean, I honestly, I still don't know if it's actually even going to work, but I want to try. I want to see if I can get it to work. Whether I have to do all sorts of fancy footwork to get it to work, I don't know, but I'm definitely willing to take on the challenge and see if it's possible, and see if I can do it, if I can pull it off. But I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. I need to go figure out why my chickens are dying of starvation, make sure I have all 4 rangers. I did a bed check not too long ago, right when I started this episode. And I need to get this episode rendered and out to you guys, because I've been a little under the weather over the last couple days, the weekend. So today is actually Monday. This episode that I'm recording right now is supposed to go live in about 2.5 hours. That doesn't give me a lot of time to edit it and render it and then upload it. So I'm going to go take care of that thing, or all of that stuff. I'm going to continue working on the wall. Hopefully by this time next week when we return, hopefully I'll have a lot of good progress on the barracks and the wall, maybe the barracks on the other side, you know, all that stuff we've been talking about. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you keep on coming back for more. I'm super stoked about the Ocean Monument. I hope you are too. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I will see you later. Bye!